What's good, everyone? We're back talking fantasy football, and the next division on my list is the NFC South. First up, we have the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins, what are you going to do this year? Are you going to go back to the old Kirk after your injury? We'll see, but I think he has pretty good weapons on this team. The Falcons remind me of the Bears. They're an upcoming team, and they have the opportunity to compete for a playoff spot. Now, I think that with Kirk Cousins there, that everybody's going to benefit. Kyle Pitts should finally get on track to what everybody thought he was going to be coming out of college, but he just never had that quarterback to get him on that level. Now they have Drake London, who has proven himself to be a decent receiver. Hopefully he can take that next level. And I think Darnell Mooney is going to be a sleeper pick. I'm going to probably stash him on my bench. Hopefully nobody in my league is watching this. I have the dual threat also at running back. I say that a lot, but a lot of these teams do have nice dual threat running backs to complement each other. We all know Bijan is there. He's got the opportunity to be a top league in the back. Be a top back in the league. And Tyler Algier, I think he's a nice compliment. I think he's a good runner. I think he's a good pass catcher. I think he can, he's a good backup. So I would definitely start Drake London. Keep an eye on Mooney. Might not be starter material yet. Bijan. And hold off on Kirk Cousins. We got to wait to see what he does. So for this team, Pitts, London, and Bijan. Those are my absolute starters if you drafted them. Next is going to be Carolina. That's my girls' team right there. She's, I told her, it's not always pretty. So she's been hurting for the past couple of years. Panthers, Bryce Young, not starter worthy. I drafted Adam Thielen. He's on my bench. They just drafted Leggett. Forgot his first name already. And Deontay Johnson. I think he is I would start him. Keep an eye out for Thielen, just because he was Bryce's, I would call him a safety blanket last year. Their running back, Chuba, and I know they got Brooks, but he's hurt. We got to wait and see. So for this team, I would start Deontay Johnson and probably Adam Thielen with confidence. But that's about it. Moving on to New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr. He's right there. He's like, he has the opportunity to be good, and then he takes a step back. So I don't know what's going on with him. I really thought he was going to thrive and be good in the Saints offense when he left the Raiders. Maybe he turns it around this year, maybe not. Got to have Kamara on your team. The volume is just too good to pass up. You got to start him. Rashid Shaheed, keep an eye on him. Chris Olave, we know you got to start him. We know what he can do. Good player. Taysom Hill is just wild. It's like, I think they finally stuck to leaving him as a tight end position. But he's everything, right? He's a quarterback, he's a running back, he's a tight end, special teams. He'll play everything probably that you ask him to do. I would probably start him with confidence as well, just because he has the opportunity to go in there and get those goal line rushes that maybe Kamara can't. He doesn't have the power to. Or they might have a trick play and Taysom Hill throws a touchdown. You just never know. But other than that, hold off on Shaheed until a couple of games. Maybe you see how they put him in the offense and what his role is going to be. Again, that's just my opinion. Tampa Bay, I call him the Muffin Man, Baker. I wouldn't start him on my team, but he does have the opportunity to be starting material. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, you got to start those boys because they're just too good to bench. Keep an eye on, I think it's Cade Otton. he can be he can have the potential to be a decent tight end. A pretty good tight end. He's already decent now, but keep an eye on him. And then Rachaad White, you got to start him. I mean, the volume there is just too good. Baker, if he gets in trouble, he always looks for his running. So Evans, Godwin, and Rachaad White, you got to start them with confidence. Keep an eye on Auden and Baker. And I don't think I'm leaving anybody out. I'm not sure who the third wide receiver is. But I'm sure I'll learn throughout the season. All these teams that, if I don't know their third and fourth wide receivers, I'm sure I will. But let me know if there's anything I missed. This channel is all about getting to know each other's style of playing fantasy football. So if you have any questions, ask me, and I'll engage. If I got any questions for you, I'll ask. Maybe we can tweak each other's brains, help each other out, and maybe learn something new that we didn't know. And it helps get us to a championship and even win it. You just never know. I want to pick your guys' brains. I want to know how you're trading. How are you? What goes into your mind for drafting? I mean, we should have drafted all of our teams by now, but I still want to know. And why do you start players? Why do you bench players? Any little thing that you might think of, let me know. And I'll tell you, wow, yeah, I never knew that. And I've been playing for 13, 14 years now. So I feel like there's always something that we could learn from each other. So let me know if you got any questions. That's it for this division, and go Bills.